Ji, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to another exclusive episode for our show. We have our very special guest today with us. She is Hijab Zahid, who is known to, who has recently stepped into the cricketing field and has shown that women can be leaders in this field of sport. She stepped in via Voice of Pakistan, and then she became the media manager for Islamabad United, and then managed to become the director for grassroots cricket, and then now she is the general manager of Multan Sultans. She has indeed had a very inspiring journey to the top. Tell us, Hijab, how are you doing today, and how do you feel about your journey so far?
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Arham. It's nice to be here, and I'm doing very well, alhamdulillah. My journey so far, how do I feel about it? I don't, spend a lot of time looking back on things and contemplating how I got here or anything, because I think part of it is because it happened very quickly. But yeah, it definitely feels like a dream sometimes. You wake up and you realize that you're where you've always wanted to be. So yeah, I mean, I literally cherish every single day that I spend in this role, and I try to do the best that I can with the knowledge that I have as of yet. But yeah, a long way to go, and I think a lot of new things to learn still. So yeah, pretty excited about it.
Yeah, that's very nice to hear. And I would like to add that you're not only an inspiration for the females in this industry. I also am definitely inspired by you and your journey. But since we are on the topic, I think when we look at the scheme of things, I think there's you in this field, Ruha Nadeem is in this field, Zainab Abbas is pretty successful in this field. So, what message would you like to give across to young females who aspire to be cricket administrators or cricket presenters, and generally it's considered very tough to step into a fraternity that is essentially male dominated. So what message do you have for them?
I mean, I can only talk about from the experiences that I've had, obviously, and I don't like to generalize things for people because everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own, level of passion that they have for the game itself and everything. But for people, especially for the young girls who might be looking, to become a part of cricket and just sports in general in Pakistan, they should know that although it's a general perception that it's very difficult for a woman to come into this field and be successful in this field, it's just that it's the driving force is just you yourself. If you are determined enough, I'll use the word heat enough to stick around and face the adversaries, face the challenges that you might. Don't let other people's opinion of you or other people's critique of you bring you down. I mean, I understand that it's natural when people tell you that you're not good enough, or maybe you're not meant to be here, or maybe you're here because not because you deserve it, but because you have some connections or anything like that. There are a lot of examples that we hear every single day, but don't let that bring you down. Just make sure that you have tunnel vision. As long as you have tunnel vision, and the one thing that's in your vision is where you want to end up, as a cricket presenter or a manager or whatever, or an analyst or whatever you aspire to be, just kind of just block out the outside noise, the external noise, and just focus on what you want to do and you want to achieve. And inshallah, you will succeed in that. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in a day or in a week, but one day you will, inshallah, because you stuck around, and that's really all it takes, to be honest.
Yeah, inshallah. And I think, of course, when there is a will, there is a way. अगर इसके मतलब हम जो फीमेल्स को challenges होते हैं इस फील्ड में, obviously अगर हम cricket itself में जाएं, जो for players के challenges हैं जो female cricketers face करती हैं, तो उसमें I think a few months ago Ali Tareen also did a show with us. Roha Nadeem hosted it, and he was particularly critical about the challenges that the development of women cricket faces in Pakistan. So आप obviously काफी देर से इस fraternity में हैं. What do you think can be done to improve the structure of women's cricket in Pakistan?
Look, there is a structure. It's not like there's not a structure for women's cricket. Obviously, we have a national team,
Yeah.
we have our players and everything. So it seems like there is a structure and there are players coming through, and there are maybe a few victories as well every now and then. It's just that I think, in my opinion, and this is, you know, just my opinion, we just need um some prioritization for the women's cricket
Yeah.
sometimes. I think sometimes we just put it on the back burner, maybe deal with it as a tier 2 thing
Yeah.
rather than tier 1. So it's just that if the day that we start prioritizing women's cricket, and I'm not just talking about the cricket board itself, I'm talking about everybody who's involved,
Yeah.
which includes the fans, which includes the investors, the commercial aspect of it, and obviously the players, and where those players are coming from,
Yeah.
all of us need to treat it the same way that we treat the men's cricket team.
Yeah.
If your son is being selected for a cricket team on a national level or on a domestic level, enjoy the same way, as if your daughter would be
Yeah.
there. So it's one thing, because playing for your country, donning that Pakistan jersey, donning that star, it means the same to a woman as it does to a man. So I guess we gotta treat it the same way as well.
Yeah.
So if all the
Yeah.
forces that are involved, if all the external stakeholders that are involved and the cricket board, if we start prioritizing a little bit, I think the structure is there. We just need to make it better. That's all.
Yeah, I think you have very beautifully put it. There needs to be a lot of improvement in the women's structure, the cricket structure. अब अगर हम जरा PSL की तरफ जाएं, obviously this is going to be your first season as the GM of Multan Sultans. तो कैसा लग रहा है? मतलब Heather Azhar is obviously has been a very successful general manager as well. So how does it feel like stepping in his shoes?
I mean, it feels surreal at times that it's about
Yeah.
to happen. We'll see how it goes and everything. We're hoping for the best and hoping that I'll be able to handle the whole thing very well.
Mhm.
Considering I've never done this before, but that doesn't really deter me that I've never done this before. There are a lot of things I've done since coming into this industry which were first time for me, and alhamdulillah, I'd say that at some level, at least on my own level, I felt satisfaction doing those things. So I intend to feel the same way about this. As far as replacing Heather Bhai is concerned, so Heather Bhai was a one-man army. Heather Bhai used to look after literally everything. He was just everything to everyone at the same time, and that's a phenomenal thing to do. That's something that not a lot of individuals in the industry can do. So I'd say that a lot of individuals in any industry can do, but he's just magnificent at what he does, at what he did in Multan especially. My role is a little bit different to him in a way that I'm the manager of a franchise. I'm not a direct manager of a team.
Yeah.
So those things are a little different,
Yeah.
there are some things that you look after when you're general manager of a franchise, and then there are things you do as a team manager or a team member. So those are two things. So Hyderabad used to do it all together. He was the one man who used to do everything and excel in every role. So my role is a little bit different to that. I'm not exactly the head of strategy, or I'm not exactly involved in the coaching decisions or the playing decision or anything. And my job is to manage the franchise as a whole, not just the players and the coaches and what's happening on the field. So yeah, it's a little bit different to what he used to do, but whatever responsibilities I do have, I intend to fulfill them to the best of my abilities, inshallah.
So you mentioned about the coaches earlier, and I think there has been a complete revamp as far as the coaches are also concerned. Considering that Andy Flower was fairly successful with Sultans, I do get the point of view that obviously when new people come in, they want to do things their own way. But what could possibly be the reason to sack Andy Flower? That is what I want to know.
So there was no reason to sack anybody, actually. When we took over Multan Sultans, the first priority we had was not to make too many forced changes. The reason for that is because it's been a fairly successful team, 3 finals in 3 years. They won one of them. So there was no reason to make a lot of changes. So any changes we had to make, including the appointment of the head coach and letting Andy go and everything, were because of the circumstances, were because of the availability issues and involvement issues. And it's a very busy window for franchise cricket. So you will always face such issues with foreign big names, and their involvement will somehow always be in question with every season coming. So yeah, those were whatever changes that you saw were not because there was any feeling of unsatisfaction on our part. It was not because of that. I think it's anyone can see how successful Multan was. So we didn't want to make a lot of changes, but whatever changes end up happening were happened because of a few factors involved that we couldn't control.
Yeah. Okay, so there are three names that I want to talk about that you have brought in. First is the director of strategy, that is Nathan Leamon. What role? Because as far as I'm concerned, I think this is a fairly new role in this circuit. So what role will he be playing? And you have also brought in a couple of female coaches that include Catherine Dalton and Alex Hartley. Dalton, of course, we know has been with in the Southern Punjab circuit since a few years, and Ali has also very talked highly about it. But Alex is, the critics argue that Alex may be a little inexperienced as far as the coaching goes. So what do you have to say about all of that?
So a lot of people already know that Nathan Leamon was actually involved in Multan Sultans previously as well. He's the wizard who changed the fortunes of English cricket team after the 2015 World Cup. And he was fairly successful in his approach and everything. And he was part of Multan Sultans before as well. So when Ali took over and invited him to join MS back, he was very, very happy to do that. He had an amazing experience with Multan Sultans. And I've only interacted with him face to face during the draft for a few days, for a week or so. He was here in Pakistan, and the way that I saw him working was actually magnificent. I don't think I can use any other word. It's the way that his mind works and the knowledge he has, and everything that he does is so calculated and so articulate that you cannot just you just have to admire that approach. And so I think he's brilliant at what he does, and I think we will benefit a lot from him. And director of strategy is not really, I wouldn't say it's a new appointment or anything. I think in some capacity every single franchise has this role. They just sometimes combine it with either their CEOs or their head coaches.
Manager
And
analytics.
yeah. So they just combine it somehow. For us, it's a different thing. We have a head of strategy. We have our head coach Abdur Rahman, who's been with the franchise for 5 years now. He's also part of the Pakistan team's management as well, the national team. Fairly successful in Pakistan domestic structure, and a name that every player that comes through that structure admires, basically. So with people like Nathan and Rahman Bhai at the helm, it feels like a very solid ship. And we hope that that's how our journey goes as well. And as far as the appointment of Alex and Catherine is concerned, Catherine has been with the Multan Sultans Academy for a few years now. She has worked with first-class bowlers. She has worked with a few Multan Sultan bowlers, and you'll be surprised to see how much they love her, how much they respect her, and how much they admire and respect her opinions and the knowledge that she has. So it was it was an automatic decision that Ali took when he took over the franchise. It was a no-brainer for him that Catherine will be the one to coach the fast bowlers of Multan Sultans, and the players were really happy with it as well, because they've all fairly worked with her before a few years now. With Alex, it's a new role for her, but she brings with herself a lot of experience and a lot of I would say the kind of personality she has. She's great. She's a great communicator as well. Of course, she has skills and everything. She's a World Cup winner for England, and she has skills and everything. But it's also because she's really great at communicating, and this is something that she wanted to do. She wanted to pursue this line of work as well. Although she works as a commentator, as a presenter, as a broadcaster as well. But the kind of knowledge that she possesses about her own skill is something that she wanted to explore more. So I think there couldn't have been a better platform for her to do that than this. So yeah, these decisions were not difficult for us to make, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, all in all, I think it looks a very settled coaching setup as well as the team, and we hope that Multan does very well again, especially after the 3 seasons that they have had. Acha, Ijab, speaking from I would like you to speak from an unbiased perspective. Obviously, you would think that, and we also think that Multan is a very strong team. But which of the two teams do you think are look the strongest as of right now and can make the final when you look at when you look on the paper before the tournament starting?
I'd say other than Multan, if you ask me, I think there has been a lot of shuffling this year amongst players, amongst local players and foreign players. There have been a lot of trades. The trade window was fairly busy for all the
Yeah.
franchises involved. I'd say that this is going to be a very unpredictable season in a way. You might not see the same teams who are dominating for the past, maybe 3-4 years, do the same this year. And you might see some teams who were maybe down in dumps for the past few years rise up again. So I feel like as far as making predictions is concerned, that would be very, very hard to do. But on paper, if you ask me which of the two teams that look really strong, I think Islamabad looks really strong. I think they have all their bases covered at the moment, and they look like a team to beat this season. And also another team that I'm looking forward to seeing is Koita. Actually, I think they have a lot of changes this year,
Yeah.
and I feel like this might be the year that they finally get that playing 11 together,
Yep.
and things start to be a bit more consistent. They've been good in
Yeah.
patches, but I think they can be a little bit more consistent this year, considering the kind of firepower they possess this year. So yeah, I think these two teams look great on paper.
Chale, I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Hijab, for taking out the time and joining us today. We were really excited to have you on CricWIck, and we hope to see you again. And from all of us at CricWIck, we wish you and Multan Sultans the best of luck for PSL.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Rohan Nadeem. Please subscribe to CricWIck's YouTube channel and press the bell icon so that you don't miss any latest updates and content from us.